On your way, no one he know. On your way, no one he know. No one he know, no way. No one he know, no way. On your way, no one he know. On your way, no one he know. No one he know, no way. No one he know, no way.
Good afternoon. My name is Chad Nicholson. I am the Director of Community Resilience and Resistance at CELDF, and I am up here to introduce our next presenter, Susan VonderHaar, who will be discussing the regulatory system's failure to protect water and people and an advocate's journey from academic to activist. Susan has a degree in biology, a bachelor's degree from the University of Akron, and a master's degree in environmental science from the University of Cincinnati. Susan worked for more than 25 years as a project scientist for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in Cincinnati, Ohio. She taught life sciences at area colleges in Cincinnati for 10 years, and she is now the director of the Cincinnati Permaculture Institute and a founding member of CROW, which stands for Citizens for the Rights of the Ohio River Watershed. Please welcome Susan.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, CELDF, for inviting me to speak today and for being part of this. You people gathered here today give me reason to get out of bed in the morning. Thank you for that. I'm so honored to be here and to be counted among such forward-thinking revolutionaries as yourselves. I used to feel honored when I would present at academic conferences. I was so proud to share my hard work with fellow scientists. I worked under contract for the US EPA for 25 plus years. We did excellent cutting edge research and development for monitoring, treatability, remediation of pollution. There's real work going on there, at least there was. My path as an environmental advocate began long ago with the first Earth Day. Those television public service announcements about cleaning up the air, the water, the soil spoke loud and clearly to me. And there is nothing more formidable than an 8-year-old girl on a mission to save the world. So I studied biological sciences. I spent a summer at OSU Stone Lab in Put-in Bay, just a little west of here, right, on Lake Erie. And I saw myself as a guardian of Lake Erie, 40 years ago. So soon I became qualified to work side by side with others at an agency whose mission it was to protect the air, water, soil, and the life that depends on it. But as time went on, it became more and more obvious that something wasn't right. Something just wasn't working. These best practices, the best available technologies that we were developing, that the regulations stated should be employed by industry, went virtually nowhere outside of our ivory tower. On occasion, we hosted visiting scientists from other countries, other governments, but no captains of US industry ever seemed interested in our work. When we spoke at those academic conferences, we were speaking to other researchers. Our EPA colleagues who worked in pollution prevention sat waiting for the phone to ring because the Toxic Substances Control Act is essentially a voluntary program. Industry has to request a pollution prevention audit. There's no mandate for enforcement. The Clean Water Act of 1973 had a stated goal of zero waste, no discharge into navigable waterways in the US by 1985. That was the dream world I was still living in 1990 when I entered my career as a project scientist. But with no teeth in the enforcement and no limits to the number of permits that will be granted, there are currently 40,000 active discharge permits on the Ohio River. That's 40 points of discharge every mile. Nearly 7 toxic discharges every mile into the beautiful Ohio. The river is our toilet. By the way, coal ash is not regulated as a toxic waste. And there are about 25 coal-fired power plants along the Ohio, just on the Ohio side. So moreover, there are systemic internal strategies to render government agencies inefficient and ineffective. Regular restructuring took place. The work you had been doing for 5 years or more was simply abandoned. Colleagues you had built strong relationships with, working relationships, were nowhere to be seen. They were sent to another newly defined division. Tactics that left us cynical and depressed. I once heard a colleague say, "I should answer the phone, 'Hello, EPA, may I appear to help you?'" It wasn't until I retired from research and began teaching environmental science that I came to understand this perplexing problem more clearly. By studying the work of CELDF, it became very clear. Environmental regulations protect the polluter, not the environment. By permitting pollution, you make it the right of industry to pollute. This is how so many regulating bodies work in this country, because the laws are written by attorneys representing the corporate interest. This legislation is delivered time and time again to our electeds, wrapped in pink ribbons with a fat stack for the next campaign. These days, what is perplexing now is how difficult it is for me to explain this regulatory fallacy to people currently employed in these agencies of government, in non-governmental organizations. Would-be do-gooder environmental activists do not understand that they're on a hamster wheel. They're playing a game of whack-a-mole. Thank you, Susie. A game trying to use subversive regulatory policy that is intentionally preventing genuine environmental protection. It's keeping the promise of zero waste out of reach by legalizing pollution. I am here to testify that zero waste is absolutely attainable. We have the knowledge. We have the innovation, the creativity to turn products into raw materials. We can develop closed loop production. It's time to start mining landfills. The science is there. It has been there for a long time. What is lacking is the political will. Looking back, I've come full circle as that young activist, still waiting for the first Earth Day, a true Earth Day that holds the new vision that we need, one that we're bringing into focus here today. That vision is beyond science, it's beyond policy, it's beyond government. It gets to the heart and soul of the issue, which is to correct the perverse and abusive relationship we have had with the natural world for far too long. Thank you all so very much for being part of this. You inspire me. People gathered here today give me reason and hope. I'm a hopeless optimist. Thank you again for helping me to never give up on my childhood dream. And finally, to quote Bill Mollison, the founder of permaculture, The problems of our world are increasingly complex, but the solutions are embarrassingly simple. Thank you.
On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. No one know. No